Hello, so in this video we're going to take a look at what happens if you get caught driving in a bus lane. Now I am going to give you quite a short answer to begin with, because there are probably people watching this video who have frantically been searching around online for some information, having just maybe driven down a bus lane by mistake. And a lot of people worry about this and they think, am I going to get points on my licence? Am I going to have to go to court? Might I lose my job and all that kind of stuff? Some people even worry about going to prison and things like that. And I know that might sound a bit daft to some people, but people do worry about things like this. Let me reassure you to begin with, all that's going to happen, if it even happens, is you'll get a fine, and that's it. You don't get points on your licence for going down a bus lane. It isn't a criminal offence, it's a civil offence. So you won't go to court, you won't go to prison, it's just a fine and that's it. So first of all, stop worrying, okay? It doesn't make you a bad person just because you accidentally drove down the bus lane, and the punishment is according to the crime. The crime, it's not a crime, is it? You just made a mistake and went down a bus lane. Anyway, let's just imagine the scenario that you go down a bus lane by mistake and you're thinking, what's going to happen? Well, what happens is, from the day that you drove in the bus lane, the council of that area has 28 days to send you a notice, and this is what you call a PCN, which is a penalty charge notice. Now a PCN is simply a letter you get in the post, but when you open it, it can look really horrible because it's got the name of the council at the top of the page and it says do not ignore this notice, and next it's got a picture, 1 to 4 pictures depending on which council it is, and it shows you in your car driving down the bus lane. And it can look quite intimidating at first. You think, God, what's all this about? What have I done that's so bad? And it looks really frightening. And then it'll say below that that you're going to get fined. But that is all that happens, don't worry about that. So what happens is, you normally get a fine of £60. But if you pay it in the first 14 days that you've had the letter, it goes down to £30. So it's not really that bad. It's only a £30 fine. If you are in London, it's double, it's £120 to begin with, and it gets reduced to £60. Now, they have to send you that letter no more than 28 days from the date that you drove in the bus lane, but it does take up to 2 days to arrive because it's first class post. So if you're thinking, have I got caught driving in the bus lane, I'd give it a calendar month. So if you got caught on, say, the 1st of June, give it till the 1st of July, and if you haven't heard anything, you should be in the clear. But there can be exceptions, such as around holidays or postal strikes, things like that. So if you get the letter and you admit you made a mistake, you just say, okay, hands up, and you can just pay the fine. And the thing is, this can all be over within minutes. You can get the letter, it looks horrible. All you've got to do is log on to this website. You have to log on, just go onto a website. You type in a reference number that will be on the letter, and you type in your credit or debit card details, and that's it. You pay the fine, that's the end of it. From that moment, you can just throw the bit of paper in the bin, you can set fire to it or use it for toilet paper. Just don't use it for toilet paper after you've set fire to it. That's all I recommend. But yeah, I'm not trying to play this down. I'm not trying to say you should drive in bus lanes. Of course you shouldn't. But don't worry about it. It's probably the least serious motoring offence there is. Think of all the things you can do, like drink driving, running people over on the pavement, driving down the bus lane. It doesn't quite compare, does it? So yeah, what happens though if you don't agree with it? Now, this is the thing, because roughly, depending on which figures you listen to, 50 to 70% of these notices are scrapped because they're used as a very blunt instrument. They'll just send them out without really thinking. They'll often see you driving in the bus lane and just send you a fine. And there are cameras everywhere, there are CCTV and all sorts are allowed to be used to catch you. But very often they don't look at why you might have been doing it. Now, for example, there was one case on the news a few weeks ago now, where this woman had been caught driving in a bus lane, but what they somehow hadn't seen is that there were 2 police cars behind her going round her. That's why she pulled into the bus lane to get out of the way, and she still got sent a fine. So if you don't agree with it, feel free to contest it. All you have to do is reply, normally in writing. You have to reply clearly stating why you don't agree with it. You can't just say I don't agree because I shouldn't be fined. If you were driving in a bus lane, you shouldn't be. You've got to hold your hands up and pay the fine. But let's say, for example, the signs weren't there. Maybe they'd been taken down or fallen down. They were hidden behind a tree, or they're just not clear enough. There are strict rules as to which signs there must be for the bus lanes to be enforced. So if you think you've got a good case, like if like me you've got a dash cam and you can prove that you maybe didn't go down when they said you did or whatever, you can write to them, state your case clearly and concisely, don't waffle on like I often do in my videos. Just be clear and concise, don't have a dig at them or say, oh, you cancelled, you all after money and whatever. Just state your case clearly. If they agree with you, as they often do, they'll send you back a letter saying, sorry, there'll be no fine, thanks for your interest in this matter. If they don't agree, then they'll send you the letter back and say, look, same again, you can pay the fine now, or it will go up, or it will double within 14 days. The third option you've got, so you can either pay the fine, you can dispute it, or you can ignore it. Now, ignoring it is stupid. If you just throw the letter in the bin and ignore it, you might think you've got away with it for a few months because the council give it 6 months for you to act. They will probably send you reminder letters, and this is different depending upon your council and where you live. But if you ignore it and just bury your head in the sand, you're going to get in much deeper trouble. They will escalate the fine, it will go up and up. They will have things like bailiff costs, and they will send bailiffs round to your house to take things out of your house to pay the fine. So you'd only get serious if you ignore it. Either pay it or dispute it, but don't ignore it. So there you go. Now, I'm going to give you a link in the description below to an excellent website which is full of people who are trying to help you fight against unfair charges for things like parking tickets, speeding fines, and bus lane irregularities, I suppose you could call them. I will be doing more videos like this in the future on things like speeding, and I'll be going over all the different details. Please read the description box below because I always seem to forget something in these videos and I can put the details there. So yeah, visit the website in the link below. It's not my website, it's nothing to do with me, but it's one that I came across once. It's a really good website where people can help you if you think you've got a case to dispute your bus lane fine. I'll give you another example now, like where I am here in Birmingham. There's a well-known one that was on the news. The council came along one day and put up this bus lane camera and made this road that you could always drive down up till this date, that suddenly turned it into a bus-only road. I think it was 18,000 people got caught in the first week because the sign was so small and so hidden you couldn't see it. I remember one guy was a taxi driver and he got fined over £500 in 1 week because he didn't know that it was a bus only zone. That's quite strange because normally taxi drivers are allowed in them anyway, but not this one. He caused a massive uproar in Birmingham because it was by the world famous Birmingham Children's Hospital, and there were people going to visit the sick children with cancer and leukemia and all these horrible things, and the council were fining them for visiting their sick children. Now that's pretty sick in itself, I think. I think that's disgusting that you're on the way to hospital to visit your kid who's dying and they fine you for going down a bus lane. I think that's completely wrong. But yeah, there are cases like that where people try and get them overturned. There are clear rules as to what must be done. There must be clear signage. So I hope that's helped you out. But if you think you've been unfairly treated, if you've got a video, why not send it to me and I can put it on my channel and see what people think. Because you might be someone who's got a dash cam but you haven't got many viewers on YouTube. I can always put videos on my channel for you and see what people think, as long as it's all, legal and not fakes or whatever. So yeah, I hope that helps you. Don't worry if you've got caught driving down the bus lane. We've all done it. I mean, I've never got fined or whatever, but we've all made mistakes. We've all been in bus lanes by accident thinking it was the time you could go in it when you shouldn't go in it. So there you go. Doesn't make you a bad person, nothing to worry about. So anyway, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you again soon for more videos.